really tough to cut with your clippers because of the gums and resins.
It's not bitter, but it's definitely astringent.
It's got some astringency. It's not super bitter. Actually, some people say the inner bark can be used, scraped out, and cooked up like a gruel or a food. Pass some of those back. I've noticed a couple times we've done that. There is like a laxative, a thing, gets the bowels moving and gets the small intestines really moving.
The fresh bark?
The fresh inner bark scraped, that white inner bark scraped and picked up as a gruel, as like an oatmeal food source. Not the old outer bark with the leaves and such, but see this inner white bark part here? Now in some of these really big big pieces, there's a lot of inner white bark. And some of it's very moist. I mean, it has almost a source of water out here. It's very moist, and there's a lot to scrape out of there.
Yeah.
And you literally could get a nice like bowl of this, and then you add about a quart of water, and you cook it up into a grill, and it's a sustaining food out here, is what I'm saying. If you have to like subsist off of this for day after day, you're gonna start to get like purging laxative effect. So like, hey, look, what did we see today? We saw Ocotillo. We scrape out the inner bark. We saw some buckwheat flowers. Grab the buckwheat flower heads. We prickly barrel cactus fruit. Plenty of those. Chopped up. Cook that all up with a couple quarts of water and make a stew, make a gruel. That's what people lived off of out here, depending on the season. I mean, there was like, that's some serious food right there. If there was nothing else to eat, we could actually be cooking and having something that would at least get us to the next day with some energy, you know? Especially if we added some of the barrel cactus fruit and those seeds in with our gruel and cooked it all up. So as crazy as that sounds, I mean, that's kind of what people ate. They ate a variety of things at any given moment, and they had to, you know? They often kind of walked around when hunting and gathering, picking a basket of barrel fruit, maybe taking some of the choya fruits when they're yellow and mature, maybe going around. Literally almost any grass seed is edible, and you could get 30 different grass seeds, strip the heads, put them in a basket or a bag, and then cook that up at the end of the day. So there really is a lot of food out here. We don't see it. We're looking for something very convenient, or something very sweet, apples off the tree, or prickly pear fruit. But really, when I look around, I mean, I see it. You could be having some Mormon tea tonight. You can walk around and have 30 species of, let's say 10 species of grass seeds, and all those other little bits, odds bits, cooked up together, and have something that might be really delicious, might be semi-palatable, but at least it would be nutritious and sustaining. And a lot of that stuff we'd be gathering would have a lot of mucilaginous, gooey, restorative things, which is what we need in the desert to keep us really going, keep us from getting dried out and our tissue from being stressed. So you can eat the inner bark. I don't know, we took a little detour there, but I love Ocotillo as one of the most important lymphatic medicines that we have in the desert. Chopped up, really nice, quarter, half-inch size pieces, and for fresh bark tincture, first and foremost. I mean, you could dry some of it for tea, but better chop it really small and really tiny pieces in the very beginning. Mostly we don't deviate into that world too much of using Ocotillo for anything but fresh plant extract. The tips sometimes, if you're going to actually, if you're like, I don't like extracts and I'm never going to use them, and to hell with you, you know, I want to know how to make a tea with that. And then if you're going to do that, make a tea from Ocotillo, you do not use the bark that I've collected. You use the first 10 inches of the tips.